She said I wasn't family until she heard about the $50 million. She called me not his real grandmother right in front of my grandson. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I just smiled because I had a $50 million surprise waiting at the dinner table. Sunday dinners used to be sacred, but ever since my son married her Rachel, the daughter-in-law from hell, they turned into endurance tests. This particular evening, as I passed the mashed potatoes to my 10-year-old grandson, he leaned in and said, "Thank you, Grandma." Rachel dropped her fork like she'd been electrocuted. "She's not your real grandmother," she snapped, loud enough to rattle the chandelier. "You don't have to pretend." The room went quiet. My grandson looked like he'd swallowed a stone. My son? Useless. As always, he just kept chewing like nothing happened. I didn't defend myself. I didn't need to. Because what Rachel didn't know was that I had spent the last 40 years building an empire. And tonight, the truth was finally going to be served hotter than the roast. Dessert time. I stood up, tapped my glass, and smiled at the table of people who had forgotten the value of blood, loyalty, and common decency. "I have an announcement," I began, slowly, letting Rachel squirm. "I recently updated my estate plans. As of last week, I finalized my will and the distribution of my $50 million fortune." Rachel choked on her creme brulee. My son stopped chewing. My grandson looked confused, but curious. I continued. "My company, properties, stocks, everything I've ever worked for, it's all going to one person." Pause. And then I turned to my grandson, reached for his tiny hand, and said, "You." The entire room gasped. Rachel's jaw hit the table. "He's not even her blood," she hissed. I leaned in, calm and collected. "No, but he's the only one in this room who ever treated me like family." What no one knew was that Rachel was adopted, something I discovered during a background check my attorney ran when she started getting too cozy with our family assets. So, with a soft smile and a legal folder in hand, I added, "By your logic, dear, since you're not biologically related to any of us, I suppose you're not really my daughter-in-law either." Boom. Rachel went pale. My son looked like he wanted to crawl under the table. "I've since set up a trust fund for my grandson. He gets the full fortune when he turns 25. But till then, he'll be raised with love, humility, and none of the entitlement his parents bathe in." Rachel and my son. They tried contesting the will. They lost. Now they rent a condo in a not-so-glamorous neighborhood. No chefs. No pool. No inheritance. Just consequences. If that twist made your jaw drop, don't forget to like, comment, and hit subscribe for more savage stories of karma, revenge, and family drama.